I'm a big spoon.
What do you mean?
Ngindoda.
Nami ngindoda.
Aye. I'm in charge. You are saying Zimbabweans have taken jobs, and then the only example you can give me is waiter. You know, South Africans don't want slave jobs, rightfully so.
I'm not saying you're a problem. I'm saying you are a problem to your fellow South Africans.
It's not true.
Do you currently feel betrayed?
Absolutely. I mean, I cannot tell this story of the EFF without talking about these guys. But politics are like that. Thomas Sankara was betrayed by his closest confidant. We are lucky not to have been killed. But what they did to us was attempted murder.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Well, the EFF's Julius Malema has been on a podcast tour lately. He talks his family and his upbringing, of course. He then talks about the hot topic of the exodus of members from the EFF and the betrayal that is going on there, according to him. And then he talks about the one that he keeps tripping on, that is illegal immigration. Oh, let's take a look at this and his sentiments around it. Let's take a look at this. Please give this video a thumbs up in support as we unpack further. Let's talk about Julius Malema and his podcast tour. For a moment there, people were thinking, Aibo, is Julius Malema trying to take over what Nota was doing, going on a podcast tour? Well, if there's a podcast, you will find Nota there. But this time it was our politician, who is Julius Malema, but I guess it came from a good place of campaigning for the upcoming NPA. Let us know what the strategy is, EFF members, because it wasn't giving, according to some people. But he went to Lasizwe, where he chatted with Lasizwe on an awkward date. He went to the Hustler's Corner, and he went to David Mashabela's studio there. So now he also had something coming up with Ntigi Mazwai, which I was so looking forward to, but I didn't see it. So let me know where that Ntigi Mazwai and Malema episode was flighted, because I thought it would be on her channel here on YouTube called Moya, but I couldn't find it there. Maybe it was on Twitter Spaces maybe. But I was looking forward to that engagement, considering that Ntigi Mazwai is pro-MKP and not a EFF supporter, even though she is a left politics supporter. All right.
I got touched and triggered and sensitive listening to Julius Malema, the commander-in-chief of the Economic Freedom Fighters, on the Hustler's Corner with DJ Sbu. And then someone told me that also on King David Studios with David Mashabela, he raised the same thing, where he doesn't know his dad. Julius Malema does not know his father. He hasn't met his father. Okay. But what hurts me the most and what triggers me the most is, while his mother was alive, she refused to tell him who his father is. And Julius today speaks about it candidly. He doesn't want to meet him, he's fine, but I don't think he's fine. Because you can imagine, as a young person, he wanted to know his father. And I start thinking now of this whole EFF thing in Parliament, when they were taking Jacob Zuma, that part of it could have been a pain, where Julius was almost an understudy of Jacob Zuma at some point. They were both not incredibly educated at the time. They were revolutionaries, they were activists, they'd been raised by the movement. And Julius, similar to Umamwini, could have maybe potentially seen a father in Jacob Zuma. And when business deals and the like came, Jacob Zuma then was there for his son Tutuzane. And Malema could have been hurt. It's like, oh, Ubaba got Tutuzane. This is not Ubaba Wetu. Stop calling him Ubaba. He's not our father. Ubaba got Tutuzane. He prioritizes his children. That same Jacob Zuma today, who's now taken what is a brother to Julius, being Floyd Shibambu, where Floyd Shibambu today says, we're not brothers, man. We were colleagues in politics. and that pain comes back. The number of boy children and girl children who would like to meet their fathers, who would want to know about their fathers, because there's a hollow feeling inside. There's a pain inside, there's a trauma. And not only their father, but their father's families, they want to know they were not abandoned. Or even if they were, they'd like to know that so they can get closure.
Malema emphasizes in his interviews that he does not have a gap for his father. He's fine. He was raised by two strong women and they satisfied every part of his need to the best of their abilities. So he does not have a yearning for his father, but Penuel goes on and blasts his mother for not telling him the truth. Or it could be what everybody is always suspecting, that he knows his father and that his father is a foreign national. So that is why he is always advocating for foreign nationals. Yeah, and then of course the issue that is coming up a lot is on what are his stances on illegal immigrants entering the country, and also South Africans having to now forfeit jobs that they would have taken easily to foreign nationals who are willing to take lower pay, who are willing to work longer hours, who are willing, to sacrifice far more than a South African would. And he goes on and calls them slave jobs, and he says all sorts of things in defense. And let's start there. How do you call allowing a slave outsiders to come in and then be mistreated, which is what we are saying, that let them be documented, let them come through the right channels and get the appropriate jobs if you do qualify for them. We have people who have the Zim permit. They are able to then go on and take up jobs that are open to them without being compromised by, ridiculous demands from employers who will not increase their pay, who will not provide favorable working conditions and provide them the relevant insurances. So all of that is unfair on dumping it on people who come from outside and being subjected to cruel working conditions. It's just like he said that it is should not be normalized that South Africans should work those jobs. But he himself said that his grandmother was a domestic worker. It means that there is a livelihood that a South African can generate from those entry-level jobs. So why is he not saying that is still a market that South Africans can continue to service, even though we want better, but that is still a market for those who have not attained the relevant skills or education to do other types of work. All right, so let me know what your thoughts were on all of his podcast tours. Of course, there is that
who are saying this guy from Zim has taken my potential job as a waiter. Who's taken my potential job as a petrol attendant, and so forth and so forth. I'm saying, and I will be the first to say, there's nothing wrong. I agree with your principles, but I'm equally saying to you that you have South Africans who will not want to understand the core of your message. They will take this, they will scheme it at the top, where you say open borders. They say you can't open a border for a guy to come and take my job. That is their perspective. And I'm saying to you, are you sure that is not one of the things that compromises you as a political party in the long run?
Nah. South Africans don't want slave jobs. Rightfully so. This thing that you're calling jobs are slaves jobs. They don't pay anything. And people get dismissed with ease. They've not taken anything strategic which constitute the economy.
I hear that. And these are South Africans that are saying, all I need is to feed my children. I'm merely saying there are those people that just want a job, irrespective of the type of job.
No, we can't advocate for that. We can't advocate.
But this person is hungry.
No,
their children are hungry.
No, we can't advocate for slavery jobs. Slavery is an unacceptable thing which we must never justify. Let's create quality jobs for our people which have got benefits, which have got pension fund. These people that you got jobs, so I can do anything. There's no pension fund. There's no job guarantee.
But anyway, let me not stretch out this video. It was just to take out some of this was just a video to just highlight some of the things that came out of his podcast tour as they are heading for their NPA on the 12th to the 15th of December. And he seems confident that he will be re-elected. Now, the spanner in the works would be if he is challenged. That would be the death of EFF. But let us know what your thoughts are going. Who do you think will be taking up the deputy president role? So please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.